Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel again here. Today, we're going to look at the best commodity that there is, in my honest opinion, uranium. Going to look at the miners only, and yeah, only miners, no ETFs, no ratios, no nothing. Just see where we are. We do that on a weekly basis. So we will be looking at the weekly chart with a 30-weekly moving average, which is a great guide to see where we are. And yeah, as always, subscribe, comment, do what you have to do if you like the content. And as always, nothing that you see is financial advice. It's just my take on the market. This is how I look at things, how I trade, how I invest. If you like it, you can, yeah, it's all up to you. Let's dig it. Alrighty. This broad physical uranium trust, let me show you. We are currently at 20.24, sitting on top here of this white long-term resistance right here. Yeah, so again, this is a strong move that we have seen for the past 8 candles. This move is very strong, so I wouldn't expect it to just go higher per se straight away. As we discussed in the previous video as well, we are very stretched on the daily. But again, the monthly and the weekly timeframes are in control right now, meaning everything below is, I wouldn't say noise, but even the daily can become noise at some point if you have a big uptrend on the monthly. So yeah, but still we are above the major ones, above the $20 level, which is very, very important. You can see it goes back 15 years. Beautiful. Again, a breather here would be perfect. But then again, uranium is a very, very, very small market, so it doesn't take a lot of capital to get things going. So, but my take is a breather here is totally fine. Mega uranium. If you want the longer term history, I think you should go back and watch some of the previous videos, right, where I show the big breakouts. Like here, we have the golden trend line coming down, the big breakout into a bull flag, beautiful price action. And what is happening? What is happening right now? Let me just clear it up for you again. This right here was the bull flag, and then we have a parallel golden trend on here. I basically just copied this one here up to there. And you can see we broke it here beautifully, and ever since it has been a one-way street. Again, this is a strong move, very stretched going to the daily. You can see the RSI is completely in the zone. Again, RSI can be overbought for a long time. Again, you shouldn't use it as a signal to sell and buy. That strategy has been proven wrong like 10,000 times, but it's a good guide here. But we are currently this is very, very bullish. That you have this circling up and down between the overbought and the normal zone. Again, when you have such a big squeeze here, you will get overbought straight away on the frame that you're looking at, and that's a good thing. That's a very, very, very good thing to get overbought very fast because you have the tightening Bollinger Bands. It's so squeezed up. So 1 or 2 candles like these two here, that one right there, and this one will make it overbought like instantly. On, you can see it here actually. There they are, so whenever we broke out, basically a few candles or like 10 candles later, we are overbought, and that's perfectly fine because that's what happens when you have such a tight squeeze. Again, strong chart, and we are at the shoulder highs. Here they are, the head, and we are at the shoulder highs. Which, when and if we take it out, I think we will take it out, but maybe not this week, but we will see. Then we have negated this whole. In this head and shoulders, basically. Again, the 30 weekly is coming up nicely. So if we get a move down here, again, I'm not saying that we are, but I'm just having the option open to the possibilities are open to a pullback. We are currently at 0. Let's call it 30, and a pullback down to 0.25 in my view. Again, every pullback after this breakout should be bought, and they will come. There will be pullbacks with 20%, 30%, and so on. When we get this thing really going. But anyways, mega beautiful chart. The move has started. So if you have a position, until proven otherwise, sit tight and be very, very right. Okay, I have to speed up a bit here because I have many charts to go through and I don't want it to be like a 1-hour video. Okay, this is NextGen. This is a very strong as well. This move here looks like it's overdone again, in my view. We are into the resistance up here, the white trend line that we drawn last week. above the green support, resistance, which is now support, beautiful. Again, sit tight, be right. This is a very strong case for a lot higher prices for NextGen as well. So as long as my view, the bear case is if we go down below the green support, let's say we do, then that's a very early sign to be very cautious about the NextGen. So the green support zone should hold, have to hold. Otherwise, I will be a bit of what's wrong here, really. Blue sky uranium, long-term trend line here, 3 touches. You can see the touch right there, boom, and then we are fake down from that blue wedge, and now we're trying to do the shooting here. And then you get the pullback, and then you buy that pullback. Again, in my honest opinion, not financial advice. That's how I trade a false breakout. I want to see it break out and then do the pullback, or like a bull flag, where I can see the entry quite clear. And then you have a good entry long term. This is a weekly, by the way, so these are somewhat of a long term charts. ISO Energy just started the breakout. 1, 2, 3, 4. 30 weekly coming up there beautifully. This right here points to a lot higher targets from where we currently are. Again, you can do the measured move on the flagpole yourself, but they are looking quite nice. Again, I haven't drawn anything for Lightbridge. It's a very, very strange chart, to be honest. We have some sort of squeeze here, which then came all the way up, and now we're coming back. So the only thing I can say is that you have a higher high here, and that we're probably waiting for a lower low at some point, but the chart is very messy. So yeah, you should probably go to the daily to see if you can find something on here. Again, if I had to do something, then maybe something like this, but it's not very textbook, very precise, but still, that could be one way to look at it. Again, Lightbridge, very strange chart. I don't know why it is so difficult to look at compared to the others. We have here Encore Energy, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The blue neckline is still a resistance. We're still trying to get to that, which I think we will. 30 weekly coming up nicely here very soon. And we broke that wedge right here, you can see, all the way up to the neckline, and then all the way back down for the retest. And now we're coming up again. The target for this inverted head and shoulders, I don't know why I don't have it on here, but we can do it quite simply like this. Boom. Funny enough, as you know, we are having a target at the highs from the previous run-up. Beautiful alignment. I like what I see. So this would be the move here. It would not go in a straight line like this, obviously, but maybe we'll get some chucking around, like to get to that point. Maybe some deeper pullbacks on the way, but still, this is absolutely stunning to see. And yeah, I'm sitting it out here really. Ever since I bought the lows at around here, late 2020. So that has to be right here. That's beautiful, beautiful. Sit tight, be right. Again, uranium market looks fantastic. This is Denison mines here, long term. This is the previous high from 2007, all the way down. You can see it there. What are we looking at shorter term? Again, I'm keeping it somewhat simple because I like the simplicity of a chart. I don't have too many lines on it. That's your squeeze right there. And guess what? As mentioned last week, or the last 4 weeks, let's say, that's beautiful. So again, sit tight, be right, and buy every pullback. The big breakout is obviously that one, the 15-year long resistance. So if we get here, maybe we do a bit of a recharging and then we go. Beautiful. Denison mines, beautiful. Cameco, the strongest uranium miner in the sector at the moment, hasn't had any pullback, like we saw on Denison and so on. UUUU, they have had like a 50% pullback, even 60, 70% on some. Cameco has not had anything like that, one big uptrend basically. And yeah, we are above the Fukushima high, at least on the Canadian one, and yeah, above the resistance here, and the all-time high is basically over here at 60. So yeah, but looking at it, this is again a bit stretched here, stretched, right, and we get a pullback. So I would assume that we get some sort of pullback, and then we go again. At least that, again, I'm not saying that we are, but I'm just looking at the chart saying if we get like 10% pullback, 15% pullback for some of the miners, It's perfectly normal, perfectly healthy. I'm not stressing anything as it is. Again, on a bear side, if we for some reason were to do some sort of like this, and then that obviously, then I'm like, oh I can't say that word, but that would be very bad. You know, getting down below these golden uptrends here. So until that happens, I'm sitting where I am really. CanAlaska CVV. I mean, this is quite of a deep falling wedge. You know, the angle is quite tight. So we still have the 30 weekly coming down because of this strong downward momentum. So again, I would expect, you know, something like this, and then it starts to curl up again. But we have made the higher high. We'll probably see a higher low right here someplace, and then we will take out this long term. When we take this long term bad boy out here, look out above. Denison mines, I think we just looked at it, but on a different ticker, but still quite similarly. This was a big one, right? Taking out the rail high here from 2021. And yeah, nothing wrong with it. We are currently close to, again, you've heard it many times before, the shoulder highs, meaning this is a bearish setup overall, but we had the breakout now, and then we are now trying to negate that breakout really. And we want to take out the shoulder highs, confirm them, and then we go. Then you have a full negation of this big 1.5 year long head and shoulders formation really. Long term, we have a lot of way to go really. And the next big one will be up here at around between 4 and 5. When we get all this stuff cleared here, then we have the 5. So we're currently at 1.5. So a long way to go. FCU still in its overall bull flag. There you have it. That's the overall bull flag. But again, broke this internal downward here. Somewhat of a squeeze between those two. And ever since, it has been a one-way street. But yeah, you can see the 30 weekly is still not going up. So we still have some downward shorter-term pressure, or longer-term pressure, excuse me. But this is clearly, you know, a higher high. And then we're probably getting, again, I think some sort of pullback for a higher low. And then we will do the stuff, I think. Just look at the technicals here. Looking from this formation here before we knew what happened here. The breakout and then the retest, and then boom into a major bull flag. And this long-term green support zone, support and resistance zones has been on point every single time between, you know, 0.5 and 0.6, excuse me. Again, this one, in my view, will resolve to the upside, not this week, but if nothing major happens, this will resolve to the upside. You can do the measured move yourself. It's way higher. And again, this is base load. Fine. I will say something that I don't normally do because this is not financial advice by any means. But this, to me, is a technical long-term entry right here, right now. Why? We have the 30 weekly moving average coming down here, right? And we have broken that, and we broke the blue wedge, obviously, also the long-term downtrend that is broken. And now we are coming back to retest the 30 weekly and that wedge right there. That is an entry for me, and I will be adding to my position. I do have quite a large-ish position in base load, but I will add to this one right here, right now. To me, the way I look at things, this is textbook from my point of view to be a buy. Again, you have to do your own due diligence, all that good stuff, you know. But yeah, that's beautiful. That's very, very beautiful for me. Okay. The forces, again, that's beautiful. A tiny peak above here, and the 30 weekly will be coming up shortly. Yeah, looks fantastic. You have the 3 impulse lower lows, which many of them do. 1, 2, and then 3. And we have that long-term bad boy taking out last week again. It's a minor one. It's not quite clear yet, but still. And then the long-term obviously will be here, taking out that bad boy coming down here at some point in time. Not tomorrow, not this week, but in the near future, we should see that one gets taken out. Again, it's all a matter of probabilities. I'm not saying that that something is 100%, but But yeah, the probabilities are for uranium for very much higher prices for the miners. One of my favorites. I've added to this 3 times. I've bought it and then added 2 times, excuse me. And right now we are just sitting here in that bull flag. We had a smaller one right here, and then we just, have broken out from that. So the main bull flag is taken out, and then we have some shorter term resistance here. The 30 weekly is just hammering to the upside here. And if we get that candle there, then this one should go way higher. It's a beautiful chart. Long term, again, if you know what I'm looking at, this is the inverted head and shoulder target at roughly around 3.3, and we are at 0.4. This is long term, so yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Speeding up again. Sorry guys. Global Atomic finding a bounce here at this cluster over here. Again, I will never be a buyer on the first bounce. If I were to be a buyer, you can see the 30 weekly is coming down heavily very shortly. If we get like a double bottom, that could be an entry. But for now, it's purely a bounce because we were so stretched from the moving average that for now, it's just a bounce. Nothing more, nothing less. And you very rarely see, like V-shape, unless, they somehow fix the situation in Niger, fine. Maybe you get it. But again, V-shapes are very rare. And again, if it goes back to that, then you have a possible double bottom and you have a much better risk reward compared to buying now. Again, my opinion, don't FOMO in right now. So yeah, but I could be wrong, of course. And but yeah, that's just the way I see things. I would like to have the best possible risk reward. And one thing that I have felt the pain many times is to chase moves like this. Oh, it's going to go straight up. Very often it doesn't. Right now it's in a bear market. Well, in a bearish cycle right here. The 30 week is coming down heavily. So it has a lot of work to do before we can say, all right, in my book anyway, that we have, taken this whole Niger situation, and that's baked into the cake. Kraken Energy, strange chart really, long-term downtrend here, some sort of a weird channel flag. Again, I need to get it above the 30 weekly if I were to do anything, and then I will have to buy this higher low if that were to happen. Again, strange chart in my view. It's a small one. Yeah, 13 million, so that's maybe why. GXU looks way better, or GoviX looks way better than Global Atomic in my view. This right here, false breakdown from that falling wedge, and still you can see the 30 week is still coming down really hard. So we want to see that false breakout to the downside, and then people want to pop to the upside, and then you buy that pullback, which will come very, very often, getting a perfect entry. And then if you see that, then also the 30 weekly have time to flatten out and then start to move to do its uptrend. So again, in my point of view, what's it called? GoviX is not a buy here, not yet. I need the confirmation. I know many people have bought the lows here, and that's congratulations, very, very nice for now. But yeah, Laramide, LAM, breakout retesting of that long-term upper trend line, beautiful, into these resistance here at 0.6. As you know, we have talked about not many times, but you can see it go back a long way. Bit of a peak above here, fake out, testing again, breakout, testing, that's 60. So 0.60, excuse me, is a big level. And pausing here, well, not pausing, but we did hit resistance and then did the retest. So yeah, getting above the 0.60, in my view, opens up for a lot of air above that bull flag right there. The daily, yeah, you can clearly see the big retest right there. So it's not, there it is, boom. So this is the breakout high all the way down. And to confirm that breakout of that bull flag, you needed to take out the breakout high. Again, that's the way I see the breakouts to be confirmed. But again, beautiful chart for Laramide long term, one of the better ones. You can see it here in my view. Rounding cup in my view. Very badly drawn because it's gone up earlier, but still long term, we have made the first higher high, higher low. So wave 1, 2, then That would be insane, really, if we did that, by the way. LEU, Centrus Energy. Again, bit of a weird pattern here, but it is a support resistance zone rail because I cannot connect them completely. Remember, rising wedge, that's bearish, but we are above that zone, really. That's very nice. So we want to stay here for like a week or two before we do anything. We don't want to see the breakdown here, really, because then we have a lot more short-term momentum pressure. But long-term, again, yes, I heard it before, the retesting, breakout retesting, and we haven't taken out that high yet. So the long-term breakout high is not taken out yet, but the retest was perfect, and now we are basically trying to undo this. And the 30 weekly is coming up nicely, so hopefully we can stay up here for like a month, 2 weeks, a month, 6 weeks, whatever. Just the longer the better, really, and then we can create some sort of good base right here, and then we can take out the highs over there and take the next shut up. I cannot say that. Next move up, excuse me. SMR, new scale. Again, just very strange chart again. Downtrend channel, 30 weekly coming down, and we are currently at the lows here in that channel. So I would assume that we ought to get to the up to here. Again, what happens, I don't know, but this is very weird compared to some of the others. Sky Harbor looks stunning. Early stage breakout on that falling trend line there, and you have the squeeze here, very tight. Again, I would assume if you go to the daily, we're probably already overbought. Almost right. So we have, as you can see here, we're just breaking out, and we're almost already overbought. Again, perfectly normal, perfectly fine. Very bullish, actually. You can see the weekly, nowhere near. We are just above 50. Monthly, we are just hovering around the 50. So, oh, excuse me, don't do that. So yeah, you can see again, now the monthly and the weekly charts are in control. So whatever happens on the daily, in my view, is noise, more or less. Same if you have a major breakout on a daily, then then what happens on the 1 hourly is noise, right? So you have the same concept here. If you drop down 2 time frames, that's when you time the entry, basically. Again, beautiful long term here. Oh, got something stuck in my eye. Jesus. There it is, long term, beautiful. There it is, and then we have the right shoulder in the making, pointing to a lot higher prices in the future when we take out 0.7, give or take. Beautiful. Also beautiful, going to the weekly again here, is UEC. A lot more lines here that I normally have, but this was the main breakout here. There it is. 30 weekly is starting to turn up. Beautiful. And guess what? This one here, if I remove that, I'll just take that one, clone it to the highs, and then you can see that's also where we had minor resistance at that point in time. Beautiful, right? Again, this move here, very extended. Also overbought in the weekly, and that's perfectly fine, by the way. You can stay overbought, oversold for a long period of time before it starts to not be that anymore. So yeah, again, long-term UEC looks fantastic. We are in the green uptrend channel right here. There it is. One connection there, almost here. The lows, and then that was basically your buy, more or less, in hindsight, obviously. So again, the path of least resistance and the momentum is to the upside, and whatever happens until proven otherwise, you just sit tight, really. You just sit tight and you will be right, the way I see it. Quickly here is UROI with a small, yeah, basically breaking out of this one here. And the blue we have there, so we have a double resistance that it needs to take out. And where are we? We're just sitting there. So hopefully if we get a nice fat candle here this week or the next week, then you have it confirmed. And yeah, again, flagpole, pole flag, simple, very simple. You can do the measured move yourself, but that's beautiful. URG, again, similar to the other charts we have, that head and shoulders bearish pattern. Oh, But again here, we have taken out when the highs, from the highs and then down, we have taken that trend line out. Also, we had a parallel range channel going on here, and that's also taken out. So now I think we will go to the shoulder highs here. I could argue that this is the shoulder high, but again, given how many connections we have all the way through, then we go to 1.5 and then we see what happens. Again, above the 30 weekly, which is coming up long term, we have taken this again, 3 lower lows, impulse lower lows, massive breakout in a bull flag. There's nothing wrong with this chart on a very long time frame. This is stunning, beautiful. Last but not least, UUU, good old Energy Fuels. Similar, again, you can see it, there it is. That's the bearish structure of this formation. That's our squeeze right here. You also, if you do an internal here, doesn't matter. We are above the 2 big ones. The 2 big trend lines we are above, also above the 30 weekly, which is coming up nicely here at some point in time. And yeah, we really need to take out, let me remove some of these beautiful, insanely beautiful drawings that I've made here. And there it is. Again, we want to take out the shoulder highs here at roughly 8. Let's call it 8. Then we have negated that whole setup here long term. You know my stance on it. Big invert head and shoulders. There it is, head and shoulders. Taking out, you have targets in this vicinity up here. Yes, you do. That's a 10x from here, really. Again, this company is only worth 1 billion, and for having something go to 10 billion in this day and age is peanuts, right? You have like Nvidia, like 1 to 3 trillion, whatever it is. So yeah, again, if this is confirmed, in my view, we can go all the way up to the 80s here at the Fukushima high, really. And actually, this one points to a lot higher, but still, I want to be somewhat realistic. But long-term UU looks fantastic. Again, this is weekly, so it doesn't happen tomorrow. Maybe you will get it in like 27, 28, 26 early, maybe, depending on the move. But yeah, looks beautiful. All right. This was a very much a longer video compared that I usually do. I think it went into, I don't know, too much detail. Let me know if you like them a bit longer and a bit more detailed, or you know, some of the comments that I've seen like this very rapid fire analysis. But I think I went a bit deeper than I usually do here on the charts. So, anyways, let me know what you think. Do I need to add any tickers? It needs to be some of the bigger ones. I have the smaller ones down here at some point. Here they are. But yeah, let me know if you agree, if you disagree. As always, subscribe, all that good stuff, and have a great start of the week. Hopefully we go up from here this week. But again, I think it will be a few weeks with a pause. Then we go. See ya.